Okay, listen, so I'm going outside later today, so I'm just practicing wearing my hat. It's a very nice hat. I just finished this book called Letting Go by David Hawkins. Amazing book. I recommend that to anyone who honestly just wants to be able to live a life of peace and freedom from their emotions. This is an amazing book to read. I learned a lot from that book. I highlighted a lot of things. It's on my computer, but I highlighted a lot of things, and I want to go through as many things as possible in this video. The main premise of that book is surrender or letting go. So, no matter what emotions you feel inside, no matter what thoughts you have, the main idea of that book is to experience that emotion, no matter what it is, experience that emotion fully without judgment, without you thinking about that emotion or putting on like any external judgment from yourself to that emotion that you're feeling, and just letting it pass. Because the more that you try to suppress or an emotion, the more that you try to repress it or push it back into your subconscious without actually addressing it, the worse that it will get. And I experienced this firsthand many times over at this point, and it only makes the emotion worse. For example, if you have a partner and for whatever reason you harbor resentment in one way or another towards that person, it doesn't even have to be like a romantic partner. It can be a family member, it can be a friend, it can be a former friend, it can be your ex, whoever it is. If you harbor some form of resentment and you don't actually address that within yourself, and the only thing that you do is you continue to either push that back or you continue to judge yourself for feeling that, and you end up feeling guilt and shame, um and all of those like low level emotions because of the feeling that you feel towards someone else, that is just gonna make it worse. And so what you should do instead of that, to live a more peaceful life within yourself and live a life at the end of the day just filled with more love, is to let that emotion, like, feel it and let go of it. How do you let go of an emotion? Janine, how do you let go of an emotion? What I took away from this book is you have to have the belief that no matter what emotion passes through you, it's not really yours. And it's only yours if you actually claim it. So, for example, there's like beliefs that were like in this book that if you adopt those beliefs, you'll have a much easier time letting go. And one of those beliefs is that emotions, feelings, thoughts are transitory, meaning they're temporary. And this other belief that I don't know if it was explicitly written in the book, but this is a belief that I just hold for myself, is that we're all trying our best in this world. As a result, you shouldn't blame other people. And most importantly, you shouldn't blame yourself. No matter what you did, no matter who you hurt, no matter if you hurt other people, you hurt yourself. Listen, don't take this the wrong way. This is not an excuse to do negative things to other people, but this is a way for you to be more forgiving, not only of other people, but of yourself as well. It's to understand that we're all just trying our best in this world. And can you really blame someone for them doing what they think is the best for them and for other people at that moment in time? Because you have to understand that people view the world differently than you. And so, what you may view as the right thing that should have been done in that moment may not be the same thing that they view as right in that moment. They might think something else completely is right, and that's why they said something to you. And you also have to understand that all human beings are flawed. You can't have like these perfect, unrealistic expectations for other people, because at the end of the day, once those expectations are unmet, that will just lead you to being disappointed. The more expectations that you hold for someone, the more disappointed you will be when that person does not meet your expectations. Learn to be more forgiving of other people. And most importantly, learn to be more forgiving of yourself. And actually, transcending that belief system is this belief that there is nothing to forgive in the first place. You don't have to forgive someone when you realize there's nothing to forgive in the first place. The only time you feel guilt, shame, anger, frustration, all these negative feelings is when you think that you did something wrong or that someone else did something wrong. But if you come from this place of like love and compassion for other people, but also for yourself, you won't see that there's anything to forgive in the first place because there's no blame. And if there's no blame, then there's no one at fault. If there's no one at fault, then you don't have to forgive anyone. Second thing that this book taught me is this is life. It is unrealistic to think that we will always experience positive emotions in this life. And it is also unrealistic and very pessimistic to think that the only thing that we will experience is negative emotions. Life is ebbs and flows. And what that means is it's like a roller coaster. It goes up and it goes down. I love roller coasters, by the way. But for this analogy, it goes up and down. Whoa, the lighting changed. And the lighting changed again. Whoa. I kind of like this better, honestly. Life is ebbs and flows. Sometimes you'll be up and sometimes you'll be down. But that's normal. There will be times where you feel happiness. There will be times where you feel joy and peace and love. And there will also be times where you feel guilt, where you feel shame, where you feel fear, where you feel apathy. But it doesn't mean that you're doing something wrong because every human being experiences those kinds of emotions. And the more aware that you are when it comes to what emotion you're feeling, the better that you'll be able to pull yourself out of that emotion as quickly as possible if you want to. Like at the end of the day, if you want to stay in guilt and shame, if you want to stay in fear, then that's totally up to you. But if you, for example, if you're watching this video and you don't want to live with guilt and shame for an extended period of time, longer than is needed, then you'll know how to pull yourself out of it. The way that you pull yourself out of it is to let yourself experience it without any judgment, without any punishment or condemnation of yourself. Just let yourself experience that emotion and eventually it will go away because all emotions are transitory. This is life. It's ebbs and flows. It changes. Sometimes you're up, sometimes you're down, but it doesn't mean that you're doing something wrong. I said that 20 million times already, but seriously, some things have to be repeated a lot. Another thing is to detach yourself from the emotions and the feelings and the thoughts that you have. Instead of like whenever a random thought comes into your mind, and maybe it's not the most pleasant in your opinion, instead of saying, "This is my thought, I'm a terrible person for thinking this," you just say, "This is a thought that I'm experiencing. I don't hold any judgment for it, and I'm gonna let it pass." And the more that you just live in this meditative state, of no matter what thought comes into my head, I'm not going to judge it. I'm not going to judge myself for having that thought because at the end of the day, it's not my thought. It's just a thought that came into my head. Do you know what I mean? It's like you're depersonalizing the thought. It's not my thought. It's not my emotion. It's not my feeling. It only becomes my feeling. It only becomes my thought or emotion if I actually cling on to that thought, feeling, or emotion and I dwell on it. If I don't dwell on it and I just let it pass, if I just let it go, then end of story. Like once it's done, it's done. And this is the way for you to transition from trying to control your thoughts and emotions, which is impossible. Like if you try to control what thoughts go into your head, you will go crazy. Trust me, I've been there. Instead of trying to control your thoughts, you just let them come and you don't judge them. You be detached from them at the end of the day and you'll be much happier. You'll be a much happier individual. I'm going to stop there because I don't want this to be like an hour long. This honestly was an amazing book. I highly recommend it. I enjoyed every single second of it. I hope that you got something out of this. I will see you in the next video and possibly with a new hat as well and a new location. But yeah, peace.